practice. So the important thing to remember is when you're making the unknown pile, it's the facts that they took a little bit longer on, even though they did get the answer, you want a little bit more practice with it, or the ones that she really took a long time and I just went ahead and put them in the unknown pile just because the ones that she did know but it took her a little longer, we want them to be more fluent. And also kind of an added bonus, when they do go into the practice pile, it'll be a little bit more encouraging than the ones that she took a really long time on. So it'll still be good practice even though she kind of knew it. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to look at the ones that she knows, and I'm going to take the ones that she doesn't know, and I'm going to create the practice pile. And there's a study done that if they know 75% of their known cards, if you take 75%, let me start over. I'm going to make a pile of 10 cards. 75% of those cards are going to be known facts, and 25% of the cards are going to be unknown facts, because it's been proven that if they practice unknown cards with the known cards, they gain more confidence as they're practicing, and they'll actually memorize them quickly and just more happily. So sometimes you can kind of take a give and take based on your child. You can kind of make like a 60 to 40% ratio instead. I think that would be fine. It depends on the child. I'm going to make that 75% to 25% pile here with Michaela though. I would suggest doing the 60 to 40 only if you feel like your child is a little bit more confident in their facts. If they still are struggling with them, I would do the 75 to 25%. So just to show you the 75 to 25%, I'm going to make one for Michaela like that. So I'm going to look at the ones that she doesn't know, and I'm kind of sort them into, I know that this one's times 5, times 4, times 4. This one has a times 6 at the end of it. This is another times 6. Here's a times 3. Here's a times 8. Times 4, times 3. Times 6, times 4, times 7, times 8, times 4, times 5, times 8, times 8, times 4, times 9, times 7, yes, times 7, times 7, times 9, times 5, times 7.
So does it have to be the ending number?
Yes, I'm looking at the ending number. Good question. I'm going to look up times 9 up here. I'm going to do times 8, times 8, times 9, times 9, times 9, times 3, times 7, times 7, times 6, times 6, times 6. So this just kind of helps me. It's going to help me make the practice pile, but it also helps me know that this child, like if you see here, she has times 5s. That's the littlest pile in her unknown pile. So that tells me she knows her 5s. It just gives me a good scope of what she knows and what she has a hard time with. I can tell she has hard times with the 6 times 6 times 7 times 8 times 9s, which is natural. And now I'm going to think about her unknown facts. I might do the same thing for her known facts. I might take a peek at these. I know that in my head though, I know there's a lot of times 2s. I know there's a lot of times 0s. I know there's a lot of times 10s. So I'm going to take, when you make the practice pile, I also recommend having the known cards in the practice pile kind of correlate with the unknown cards that you don't put in there. So for example, I'm going to take, I see here that she has 3 times 5s, and she has, I might start with times 3s, times 4s, times 5s, because they can only really build to these times 6, times 9, times 8, and times 7s if they know these earlier ones. So I'm going to focus on finding known facts that could somehow correlate to these earlier ones so she feels more confidence with practicing her practice pile. So let me think for a second here. I know this is a times 5 that she knows. I might take a times 2 that she knows. Is there? Yeah, okay. So that's, I'm looking, since I'm doing a 75 to 25% ratio with her, I'm going to have 7 cards that are known and 3 cards that are unknown. put this one, I'm gonna put the times 10 and the times 2, actually, oops. I'm gonna put the times 10 and another times 10 in here, just because I know she's really confident with those. Those will be good ones that she really knows. I'm gonna put 5 times 3 in. I'm gonna put, how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. So here's 7. Okay, so those are the 7 facts that are going to go in the practice pile from her known facts pile. I'm gonna take, basically I'm gonna match. She does not know 3 times 3. I'm gonna put it with this 3 times 4 because 3 times 4 groups of 3 is only 1 more than 3 times 3. So that will be a good match of an unknown and a known that kind of correlates together. That would help her. I'm also gonna put 8 times 3, this is an unknown fact that's going to go in the practice pile because 8 times 2 is there. So if she knows what 8 times 2 is, she'll also know what 8 times 3 is. Or it'll help her better find what 8 times 3 would be. And then I'm going to do, if she knows what 8 times 5, if she told me that 8 times 5 is 40, she doesn't know 7 times 5. That means she's going to take one group of 5 out, so that will help her. So these 10 cards are going to be a part of the practice pile. So I'm going to put them together. Put them here so I don't lose track. These are the rest of the unknowns she didn't know. I'm going to put them back together. And what I would do is I would rubber band the known card with the known facts and the unknown card with the unknown facts, because you don't want to mix these up. And I know I have mixed them up before and I don't want you to do that, so I would put a rubber band around those. And then this will be Michaela's practice pile. And what I would recommend is you do at least once a day, because we want them to see them as much as possible, because over the next few months memorizing facts will be really important and you don't want to waste a day when you could have practiced. So basically what I'm going to do with her is I'm going to then show her the facts whenever we're practicing together at home or in the car or whatever. And so this time when I'm practicing with her, I'm going to encourage her to use her strategies that she knows to help her with the ones that she doesn't know. You'll notice that in the assessment I did that in the beginning just to see what strategy she knew, but then I quickly, if she didn't know a fact, I put it in the unknown pile right away, because that was just for the sake of the assessment, just to figure out which ones were known and which ones were unknown. But now I'm going to encourage her and help her and think of a strategy. So when I see that she's coming to that fact she doesn't know, again, I'm going to say, how might you think about that, or I'll show you how I'm going to do it. Okay.
20.
Good.
90. 35.
Good. So if she didn't get that one, I know that this is the fact that I added from the unknown pile. If she didn't get that one and she was struggling with it and she said, I would have said, you know what 8 times 5 was, so take away a group of 5. Or I might say something else like, you know that if the minute hand is on the 7 on the clock, then you know that that's 35, and 7 groups of 5 is 35. So I might encourage her with something like that.
Yeah, that's what I think about it, like on the clock.
Good.
Yeah, that's what I do with my 5s.
There you go.
40.
Good.
24.
Good. So she seemed perfectly fine thinking on her own there, so I let her think on her own. I wouldn't interject if you can tell that they're thinking they're getting somewhere. I would interject and present them with a strategy if you notice that they are about to you know your child, you know when they're getting a little bit defeated inside. So I would interject when I started to kind of pick up on that. But since she was doing fine, I let her be. Good. Okay. Good. How'd you get there? I'm just curious.
I did 8 plus 4.
Okay, because you know 2 groups of 8 would be, or 2 groups of 4 would be 8, and then add 1 more. So it also helps if you notice that they thought about something and one thing you can do is when you can tell that they're thinking about something and then they get it, it kind of makes them feel a little bit more confident when you say, how did you know that, or how'd you figure that out? Because I could already tell when she was saying how she got there, she was already brightening up a little bit.
Yeah, because I really like to get it out and
Yeah.
like tell you how it, like, because sometimes like my teachers, they share it with other people, and so.
There you go. Very good. And then it kind of helps you relearn it to yourself when you say it out loud, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Good. Okay.
9.
Woo.
15.
Great.
40.
Good.
16.
Good. And then, so I would do that. Going through the practice pile took about 2 minutes. So I would spend at least 5 to 10 minutes a day, if not more, on doing it. It's so simple and encouraging for them because we spent so much time putting the fact pile together, really separating the uns and the unknowns. And so would you feel good about practicing this once a day or twice a day? And I think you'd probably get them within a couple days, right?
Yeah.
Good. So that's pretty much how you create the practice pile. And we